Welcome to Small Medium at Large, the podcast where we dive deep into life's biggest questions with a little help from Spirit. The questions for this week's episode come directly from the listeners and match up with the theme from last week. So let's dive in. How can I be supportive to others without taking on their energy, problems, or emotions? This is such a vital question, especially for empaths, healers, and any recovering codependents like many of us. The short answer: learn to observe without absorbing. So when we're stuck in old patterns of codependency, our nervous system is often wired to merge, to rescue, to fix, or to feel responsible for others' pain. And we confuse love with enmeshment. But true support doesn't mean carrying someone else's load. It means holding compassionate presence while staying rooted in your own center. Okay, another way to say that: compassionate detachment. Here's the shift. Instead of, if you're not okay, I'm not okay, you start to live from, I can stay okay even if you're not. That's the difference between codependent care and healthy compassion. Observe, don't absorb becomes your mantra. I know if you follow me, you've heard me say this before. Spirit has brought me this message countless times. Observe, don't absorb. You witness their struggle without taking it into your body, your energy field, or your identity. So perhaps try this visualization. This is what my guides shared with me to do. Imagine a golden bubble of light surrounding you. Their energy may ripple toward you, but it dissolves at the edge of your boundary. Okay, it's transmuted by that golden white light around you. So it's not penetrating or coming in. And at the same time, you are dissolving any of that negativity and neutralizing it. You're present, open-hearted, but not porous, right? This is how to have healthy boundaries. And remember, being supportive doesn't mean being responsible. You can listen, pray, encourage, or even offer resources, but you don't have to fix, manage, rescue, solve, or emotionally bleed for someone to love them. In fact, your grounded, non-anxious presence may be the most healing gift you can give. So when you're feeling pulled into someone else's storm, ask, am I observing this or absorbing it? If you're absorbing, it's time to step back into your bubble. Breathe, release, return to your own vibration. That's your sacred job. What is the best way to cleanse out energy? Let's talk energetic hygiene, because just like we brush our teeth or shower daily, we also need to regularly clear the energetic gunk we pick up from the world. Here's the truth. We're constantly absorbing energy, thoughts, emotions, projections, especially if you're intuitive, empathic, or sensitive. If you don't clear it out, it starts to clog your field, making you feel tired, anxious, foggy, or just not like yourself. So what's the best way to cleanse? Let me give you my go-to spiritual toolbox. First one, blue light deprogramming. Okay, so this is, you've heard me talk about running your energy with color, okay? You visualize, think of like a sapphire blue light, okay? Like a laser or waterfall of light, and it's flowing through your body and aura. This is a divine intelligence that knows what doesn't belong. And as this blue frequency moves through, it deprograms or dissolves energy and thought forms or beliefs that aren't yours. You can say something like, I call in deprogramming blue light to clear all energy that is not mine. I return it to source with love. This works especially well at the end of a long day or after being in crowds or heavy conversations. Another tool, salt baths. Salt is an ancient medicine. It neutralizes energy, it draws out toxins, and it helps you reset, okay? Just like I clear a lot of my crystals in sea salt, You can clear, think of you with your body and your chakras. You're a giant crystal. You can do the same. So use Epsom or sea salt. I like to use a combination of both. And you can add essential oils if you like lavender for calming or rosemary maybe for purification. But as you soak for about 20 minutes or so, or longer, visualize energy leaving your body into the water, okay? Let the water do the work. Then drain the tub with intention. Just see all the energy going down the drain and out of your field. And another tool would be earthing or grounding. Mother Earth is the ultimate transmuter. She takes your excess static and brings you back into rhythm. So go barefoot, stand on the grass, soil, or sand, and visualize roots growing from your feet deep into the earth. Then ask, Mother Earth, I offer you all that I no longer need. Please compost it into light. You'll be amazed at how your nervous system calms and your field feels stable. Another tool would be breath work. 3 deep conscious exhales with the intention to release stuck or heavy energy. And perhaps sound healing as another tool, which I will do an extensive deep dive into the power of sound healing on a future episode. But for now, toning with your voice, chanting, playing instruments that resonate with you, crystal bowls, or just listening to frequencies like 528 hertz to shake loose emotional debris. And finally, smudging or energy spray. This is where you burn sage or Palo Santo, or just use an energy clearing mist to reset your space and your aura. Energetic clearing is not a one-time thing, it's a lifestyle. And the more often you clear your energy, the easier it is to stay connected to your higher self, to spirit and inner peace. So next time you feel off, just ask, is this mine? If it's not, bless it, release it, and return to your center. What is the one fastest way and easiest way to cleanse out stuck or heavy energy? So one of the fastest and easiest ways to cleanse out stuck and heavy energy for me has been through sound healing, okay? And there's real science, my friends, to back this up. So why sound works for energy clearing is because everything in your body and environment vibrates at specific frequencies. And when you're stressed, overwhelmed, or absorbing others' emotions, hello empaths out there and all you Enneagram 9s and 2s, your energy field can become chaotic or static. Sound healing helps retune your system and puts you back into its natural, healthy vibration. Vibrational frequency, according to quantum physics, everything is made of energy vibrating at specific frequencies. And sound travels faster through water. And since the human body is 70% water, sound deeply affects your cells. And then there's brainwave entrainment. So tuning forks, singing bowls, or specific frequencies. Okay, solfeggio frequencies like 528 hertz, which is love and repair, or 432 hertz harmony. These frequencies help bring your brain into alpha or theta states, which puts you into a deeply relaxed healing space. Resonance and dissonance. When an instrument plays a pure harmonious tone, your body cells naturally entrain or synchronize with it, clearing out discordant, stuck energy. And so how to use sound for easy, fast cleansing? You could use tuning forks or singing bowls, okay? You strike and sweep around your body, focusing on the heart, solar plexus, and head. You could do sound baths, okay? This is where you lie down and you listen to a recording of bowls or gongs or binaural beats. If you're lucky enough, there's many places that offer live in-person sound bath healings. So even 5 to 10 minutes, it helps a lot reset your field. You could do chanting or toning. This is where you use your voice to hum or chant tones like om or ah to literally shake loose emotional gunk. And then again, solfeggio frequencies, okay? So there are different tracks tuned to certain frequencies to help clear out toxins and fear and anything that causes a dysregulated nervous system. So perhaps, pick the one thing that resonates here, but you could just simply play 432 hertz music in the background while you're at home cooking, working, or even in the shower. It subtly aligns your energy without you doing a thing. How do I make a good living as a healer? This is one of the most common and sacred questions I get asked, because if you're a healer, intuitive, or spiritual practitioner, chances are you didn't get into this line of work for the money, right? But at some point, the reality hits. You have to live. You have to support yourself. And you deserve to thrive, not just survive. So how do you make a good living as a healer? It starts with one bold inner commitment, and that is claim your worth. This is a message that my guides gave to me 25 years ago when I was really starting my journey and dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome and contemplating how I could make a living offering this work as my service. You have to know, not just intellectually, but in your bones, that the healing you offer is valuable, it's transformational, and it's sacred, and that your time, energy, and presence have energetic currency. Here's what I've learned. Money is just energy. It's a neutral resource that flows based on frequency. It's not bad or unspiritual. It's simply a tool. Okay? It's a reflection. It's a magnifier. Money itself has no real value. It's the life it gives you access to. Time, freedom, peace, health, creative expansion, the ability to give and serve on a bigger level. That is what carries meaning. So when you deeply recognize the priceless nature of what you're offering to the world, when your healing helps someone reclaim their power, mend their spirit, or align with their true path, you begin to open to receiving in return. And here's the key. It starts with purity of intention. You have to begin with why. If your soul is truly here to be of service, and that desire is rooted in love and alignment, the rest will follow, okay? You're not chasing clients. You're aligning your vibration with the right people. So for me, back when I began this journey, I always would offer the prayer, God, you are my publicist, okay? You've got this. You bring all the right people to me. I don't hustle. I align. I show up. I do the deep inner work daily to be the clearest, purest channel that I can be. And then I trust, right? The right people at the right time will find me because we will be a vibrational match and meant to work together. And so when I'm in right relationship with spirit, with my purpose, and with my self-worth, the clients come. The work flows. The abundance matches the vibration. So here's what I'd tell any healer. Do the inner work every day, right? Ground in your intention to serve. Clear your own field so you're a clean, clear channel. Name your worth and own your impact. Set sacred prices that reflect the value and allow you to thrive. And then trust that spirit wants you resourced, supported, and sustained. Because a depleted healer can't do their true work. And abundance isn't about ego. It's about alignment. If you've been with me for a while, you know this. I believe prayer and meditation are the most powerful tools that we have. Honestly, it's how we connect with spirit. Prayer is how we talk, and meditation is how we listen. But here's the thing. So many people ask me, where do I even start? And I get it. It can feel overwhelming. That's why I've put together a whole collection of guided meditations that I've designed to really support you in that process. We're talking about everything from healing grief to opening your chakras, working with the energy of the new and full moon, meditations for calling your energy back when you feel depleted, and yes, even big picture stuff like sending divine healing out into the world. I'll guide you through it all, step by step, so you can raise your vibration, manage your energy, and feel clear and grounded, whether it's first thing in the morning, right in the midday chaos, or before bed. So if you're ready to feel that connection, restore your energy, and strengthen your intuition, head to RebeccaRosen.com. And here's something special. When you sign up for my email list, you'll get a free meditation to help you call back your energy anytime you need it. That's RebeccaRosen.com, your place to reconnect, recharge, and realign. Any other energy protection practices for those of us that are a 9 in the Enneagram? Okay, so I love that you know I'm a 9. I'm a 9-2-5, okay? So I act like a 9, I feel like a 2, and I think like a 5. So I would say what I'm about to offer you applies to Enneagram 2s as well, okay? Maybe even, well, we'll leave it at that. But if you're a type 9 on the Enneagram or a 2, the 9s are a peacemaker, okay? And the 2s are more caregivers. But you're naturally attuned to harmony and can absorb energies of others easily, okay, if you're wired this way. And because of this sensitivity, energy protection is critical. So here are some practices, especially supportive for 9s and for 2s. Grounding practices. So 9s can merge with others. So grounding helps you stay rooted in your own energy. So for me, barefoot walking on the earth or grass, huge. Just really fast, easy way to be present and embodied. So sometimes I stand in the grass and I visualize roots growing from my feet into the earth, okay? And then you can also hold or just even put in your pocket like grounding stones or crystals, okay? I know granite is a stone that really works well for my energy. Hematite, black tourmaline, smoky quartz, those are all really good. Aura shielding. Okay, so this is about imagining a bubble of light. I call it bubble wrapping your body and your energy field. And you just imagine that, a giant golden white bubble around you. Okay, and then you set the intention. Only love, only light, and only truth may enter, and only my true essence may leave. So set an intention that resonates for you. And then boundary setting meditation. You can just sit quietly and say internally before you start your day, before you walk into a meeting or a workspace, just set the intention that it's safe for me to have boundaries and I honor my space. Another practice is cord cutting. So you can use a simple visualization of a cord cutting sword, call in Archangel Michael with his sword, and just set the intention to release entanglements with others' energy. Nature as medicine. So this is about spending quiet time in natural spaces because it's really restorative to get you present and in your body, okay? All the negative ions that can be found at like rivers and lakes, beaches, with the ocean, forests, gardens, okay? These really help cleanse residual emotional static from your energy field. How can you tell if you have a cord or energetic attachment? And if it's removed, can it come back? This is such a powerful and important question, especially for those of us who are energetically sensitive and spiritually awake and aware. So let's just start with the basics. What is an energetic cord? I'm sure a lot of you listening already are familiar with cords, but an energetic cord, it's an invisible connection between you and another person, place, or situation, and it's usually formed through emotional exchange and intense experiences or repeated patterns, okay? And cords aren't necessarily all bad. We form cords all the time, right? There's a lot of love-based cords. But what I'm talking about here are the fear-based ones, okay? So some are healthy and reciprocal, like those formed in these loving relationships. But others are really draining and unbalanced or even manipulative, sometimes harmful, right? That's what we call psychic attack. But that's when they become attachments that interfere with your sovereignty. And quite honestly, nobody has any business being in your space, in your energy field, but you. So, how do you know if you have one? Well, here are some signs that you might be corded or attached to someone or something in a way that's no longer serving you. You may feel drained or heavy after interacting with a certain person. You can't stop thinking about them, even if you've cut contact off. You feel guilt, you feel fear, or you feel obligation that doesn't feel like your own. You have recurring dreams or energetic pulls towards that person. You've done the work mentally, but emotionally, you're still entangled. Those are all signs. Sometimes it's subtle, just a background hum in your field, but other times it's loud and consuming, okay? Sometimes you literally can feel aches and pains in your body. Like for me, I know it comes in my shoulders, my neck, my lower back. That's oftentimes where I get corded. So if you remove the cord, can it come back? Yes, if the emotional or energetic pattern behind it is still active, okay? So here's the thing. Cords form not just from the person, but from the emotion or belief we've attached to them. So if you still carry, guilt or fear or resentment or even an unconscious contract to fix, save, or prove something, the cord can regrow even after clearing it, okay? So cutting the cord is only part of it. You also need to, 1, heal the pattern or belief that created the cord. 2, you need to replace it with truth. I am whole, I am free, I am safe. And then the third thing, set boundaries, both energetically and practically. And 4, stay conscious of your frequency, okay? You get to choose what you plug into. And so cord clearing and repatterning ritual, this is what I would suggest that you could do, something I have used that works successfully. You call in divine light, okay? Call in source, Mother, Father, God, however you want to term it. And then I also like to call in Archangel Michael, okay? He has the sword and he is able to cut these cords with that sword. You then visualize the cord and you lovingly release it with this intention. I return what is theirs to them, and I call all of my energy back to me, cleansed and whole. Okay? I return what is theirs back to them, and I call all of my energy back to me, cleansed and whole. And then you seal your field with golden light, and you affirm, only energy aligned with my highest good may remain. Do this regularly, especially after any emotional exchanges or even before going to sleep at night. I do this just kind of on autopilot. And remember, cord cutting is not about rejecting someone, okay? It's about reclaiming your power and restoring your own energetic boundaries, which you are entitled to do because you are not responsible for anyone else's healing journey, only your own. The last thing I would share here is I have created a morning and an evening meditation called Calling Back Your Energy. And in both of those, I have the same practice essentially about calling your energy back. And it's the same idea of cutting cords and returning to your whole sovereign self. So maybe check those out if you need something guided. What's the most effective way to protect our energy? Do we really need to do it every single day? Well, the answer is yes. Daily energetic protection is absolutely essential. And not from a place of fear, but from a place of sovereignty, okay? It's not about shielding yourself because the world is scary or unsafe, even though sometimes, yes, it does feel like that. But this is more about choosing every day to stay in alignment with your true vibration, which is the frequency of light, love, and divine truth. So, what's the most effective way to protect your energy? It begins with intention, okay? Energy follows intention. And what you consciously focus on, you amplify. So, when you set the intention to align with the light and only the light, you create a vibrational field that naturally repels anything out of resonance. And protection isn't about fighting off darkness. It's about being so filled with light that lower energies can't stick to you, right? So this is really about each and every moment of every day showing up and choosing from light and not shadow. Or you could say choosing from love and not fear. And so here's something I often teach based on what Spirit has, revealed to me over the years. And that is, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are, right? So you're attracting what you're a vibrational match to. So if you want to feel safe and peaceful and uplifted, you have to embody that energy first. You become the frequency you wish to attract. So this is why a daily practice is so important. It's just like brushing your teeth or charging your phone. Your energy field needs tending. And we're interacting with people and spaces and screens all day long. And without intentional alignment, we unconsciously absorb other people's energy, expectations, and their projections onto us. But when we start the day with alignment, we take back our power. So here's what I recommend. Set the tone each morning. You could say this out loud, you could journal this, but whatever you do, just speak this from your heart. I align with the light. I am a vessel for love, truth, and peace. Only energy that serves my highest and best good may enter my field. I choose to have a day of heaven on earth, full of grace, ease, joy, and flow. So anything along those lines works. I also recommend that you visualize your protective field. So imagine yourself in a giant golden bubble of light filled with divine presence surrounding you. And nothing lower in frequency can pass through. And finally, attune your focus to the positive. Remember, what we focus on expands. So focus on beauty, joy, gratitude, and connection. And then that becomes your energetic reality. Because when you're vibrating at a high frequency, the world mirrors that back to you. You begin to live in a state of trust and not fear, flow and not resistance, okay? Expansion rather than contraction. And your energy field becomes self-sustaining, clear, and magnetic. So yes, do it daily, not because you have to, but because you get to show up for yourself, for your soul, and your sacred work, fully protected, fully empowered, and fully aligned. What are the best ways lightworkers and intuitives can help others open up to more light and higher vibrations to also experience the 5D ascension process? The most powerful way to help others rise into more light, more truth, more 5D consciousness is simple, but not always easy. And it comes down to this: be the light. Live it, embody it. Let your frequency speak louder than your words. This is where Spirit oftentimes comes through and they'll say, your presence is your purpose. Your presence is your power, okay? So as light workers and intuitives, we're not here to convince, fix, or force anyone to ascend, right? We're here to hold the frequency so that others can entrain to it. This is where the concept of entrainment comes in. In physics and energy medicine, entrainment is the phenomenon where a stronger, more coherent vibration naturally pulls other vibrations into harmony with it. So when you are grounded and you're radiant and you're attuned to source, you become a living tuning fork, and your energy field magnetically invites others into resonance. So think of how you feel when you're around someone who is deeply peaceful and relaxed or joyful or just aligned. It shifts you without them saying a word. So the invitation here is don't preach, don't push, and don't panic when others aren't getting it, okay? Instead, stay in your practice. Choose love over fear. Choose light over shadow, and focus on raising your vibration. So when you hold light with consistency and integrity, others will feel it, okay? You have the power, just you being aligned, to affect thousands of other people who are not. And something in them, maybe silently, maybe slowly, will begin to wake up. I promise you. So here's the truth. You don't have to save anyone. You don't have to wake anyone up, right? Your presence is the medicine, and your frequency is the invitation. So when you radiate light, you remind others that they are also light. And that's how we collectively rise into 5D. Not by dragging people up, but by shining so brightly that they remember who they are. So if you're wondering, am I doing enough to help others ascend? Ask instead, am I embodying what I wish to see? Because when you become a living example of grace and truth and high vibration, you become the portal and you become the permission. And the world begins to shift one field of resonance at a time. Thank you for listening to Small Medium at Large. If this episode inspired you, please follow the show and leave a review. It truly helps us reach more people who need these messages. For more resources and upcoming events, visit RebeccaRosen.com and connect with me on Instagram and Facebook at Medium Rebecca Rosen.